So this week's been a bit of a strange one. And I just wish there was like a platform that I was able to share my thoughts and feelings. I'm only kidding. Come on, look, let's go. Okay, welcome to the channel, welcome. It's good to have you all here. Thank you so much for clicking on that thumbnail. And yeah, it is really still cold in the UK. It's like that's like British tradition that, you know, like when it's cold, you complain about it being cold. When it's hot, you complain about it being too hot and you can't wait for the other season to come. And when it does get here, you're waiting for the next season. But yeah, like I've got the heating on, but it's still not that warm at the moment because quite frankly, I am still in a shed, so I still need the hoodie. So, you know, I hope you're wrapping up warm wherever you are in the world, if you are in fact in a cold climate. But I want to talk to you about this new lens. So this new lens it's been described as the sort of perfect lens for photographers who like to go out and about, who like to go into the city, who like to go hiking up mountains. And the reason why, because it's very, very ingenious. So they've got this little clip on the side. So when you clip it and you just wait a couple of minutes, you can sort of hear it doing it as you sort of get close enough. And after a few minutes, it actually brews a cup of coffee. So you unscrew the lens cap like this. Takes a bit of a while. There we go. See? Oh, look at that, look. And you just sort of pour a bit of coffee. And there, look at that, look, isn't that brilliant? That's fantastic, isn't it? Okay, so it's not a lens, it's not. It is in fact a thermal cup that looks like a lens. When Phoenix bought me this, like there was a very mixed emotions, if I'm honest. Like when I looked at the box, I was over the moon. I was like, oh my God, she's bought me a new lens. That's amazing, that's brilliant. Then I realized it wasn't a lens. And I got really, really gutted because I'm like, oh, she's not bought me another lens. And then I got excited again because I'm like, oh my God, I've got a cup that looks like a lens. That's brilliant. And I've made an absolute mess trying to undo that. So yeah, that's nice, isn't it really? But yeah, I'm gonna drink it out of my, in case of emergencies, Ask Nathan cup, because apparently I know everything. I don't know everything. That's not correct. Well, I hope wherever you are, you've got yourself a nice brew and you're sitting back and you're enjoying the video so far. But yeah, it's been quite an emotional week for me personally. One, at the beginning of the week, we had our first snowfall in London and it was so exciting. Now the thing is, when it snows in London, we are literally the only city on the planet that can't deal with snow. We literally can't deal with it. And the last time we had a decent snowfall was probably about 4 or 5 years ago now, and it happened in April. We had the beast from the east, and we had a good 3 or 4 days worth of snow. And like everything stopped. Everything just stopped. The tube stopped running, the buses were going funny, and the citizens of London sort of stare at it in the most, you know the scene in Independence Day when the spaceships sort of break through the skyline and everyone sort of stops and stares up at the sky and they're like, wow, what is this? What's going on? And it's exactly what we're like in this city. Like we can't deal with it. Like we're not good at it at all. But I have been looking forward to the snow because it's the sort of the first time when I've had my proper camera gear and the confidence to go out and take some photographs. And I've been sort of looking out for the weather reports ever since it sort of started to threat that it might snow in London. That I've been keeping an eye on the weather, and I wanted to go out in the city and take the photographs of like the big monuments, you know, Big Ben, St. Paul's, and the Tower. And it sort of snuck up on us. Like I looked at the weather report the night before, it just said it was going to drizzle, be rainy. By the time I woke up on the Sunday morning, we had the snow. Like it was definitely going to come, roughly around about 11 o'clock-ish. And I ummed and ahed about, should I go into the city and try to capture it. But it wasn't going to be sort of a heavy snowfall. So instead, I sort of, do you know what, it's definitely not going to snow. I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it. And it happened. So instead of going all the way into the city, I decided to go into my local area and take some photographs of town, because the wonderful thing about snow is it can sort of turn the most dullest landscapes or the most dullest cityscape into something quite pretty, something quite beautiful. And it did. It really did not disappoint. You know, we had some sensational photographs of people sort of staring around, had a bit of fun, and it brought a lot of laughter. Now, I didn't realize I missed this to begin with, but you know, I live in a close where there's quite a few families and there's quite a lot of kids running around. And since proper lockdown, we've had a lot less than this, especially since the lockdown just before Christmas, that the laughter of children in the street has been sort of eerily absent. But straight away, the snow came down. Like, my children went absolutely berserk. Like, they were looking out the back windows, looking out the front windows, they were running upstairs, looking out their bedroom windows, and they were so frantic. And we had children in the street once more, sort of snowball fighting, playing with each other in the most safest scenarios as we can, I guess. I suppose the wonderful thing about snowball fights is that you don't need to be close to somebody to sort of hit them with a snowball. But yeah, I've managed to have some really, really nice photographs. And it was nice for me as well, because it was the first time this year that I actually got to go out and take some nice photographs. It was pleasurable, like, because I've not had the opportunity to do so recently, and it was nice. So I probably spent about an hour before my fingers started going a bit numb. I've got these nice sort of photography gloves where I can still use the screen whilst wearing them, so it wasn't that bad, but it got really, really cold quite quickly. And of course I was nervous about my camera getting wet and everything like that. So I spent about an hour, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. The flip side of the whole week was, on the Wednesday was the anniversary of my father's death. And you know, it still hits me every single year, even though it's been 19 years. 19 years, I was a young man when my father passed away. And you know, it really hit me very, very hard. I spent many years grieving, not realizing that I was grieving, but you know, looking back, I could have dealt with it differently. And you know, lucky enough, I had some really, really good friends around me at the time. But yeah, like, it was 19 years ago on Wednesday that my father passed away, and you know, this man was my hero. He really was. He was such a gentleman. Like, I hope that he looks at me now and is proud of the man that I've become. You know, I try to always judge myself on what he would do, especially in later years of my life. I really do. I sort of like, what would Dad do in current situations, especially in situations like this, where, you know, we're in a global pandemic and we don't quite know what's going on understanding. And, you know, a lot of people who know my dad and who know me now would say that he would be proud of you. Like, you've turned into a nice father, a nice person. And it does, it gives me the warm feels. But, you know, I always get quite down and miserable at this time of year because of that. Like, it was such a drooling process when my father passed away. Like, he died of a stroke. Funny enough, if you can sort of see the humor in it, that he actually was cycling back from a doctor's appointment. As he was on his bike, he had the stroke. He got given the all clear from the doctors, cycling home, probably looking forward to his cup of tea, maybe a game of cricket. And yeah, he just sort of toppled over, and 3 days he sort of succumbed to the actual stroke itself. And I was living in London at the time. I was a long way away, and I dropped everything. I was in drama school. I was sort of like, so right, I need to go back home. I need to sort of see him and this. And my brother was flying over from Australia to come and see him as well. And in hindsight, as much as it was a horrible situation for us as a family to go through, his funeral was probably one of the best parties I ever attended. And I know that sounds really, really strange, and I know that sounds really sort of morbid, but it just shows the character of the man. We pretty much drank the bar dry, and it was full of laughter, it was full of songs, and people just telling stories of how they knew this gentleman, because that's what he was. He was a gentleman. I don't think I ever heard my dad raise his voice to anyone. He just had a look that when you knew you annoyed him, he just looked at you and you sort of took a step back. And like, oh, well, I need to I need to ring myself in here. Like, I'm sorry, Fred. Like, that's really sort of like my bad. You don't really sort of know this because the name Benham Media, yeah, it is my name and it's my family name, but I've actually named Benham Media for him, not for myself. I wasn't being vain and went, yeah, Benham Media, woo! It's his legacy, it's his name. I have his name, and that name means a lot to me. And when I get married to Phoenix, hopefully the next year or so, that it's me passing on his legacy, his family name, his essence, and keep it going forward. The fact that I have sons and knowing that they carry his name and that name will still have another generation, and in hope that my sons will also have a family and keep on going. Like my eldest son, William, is like, he's fascinated by the fact that my father was born in 1929. And, you know, that's such a generation jump that his grandfather was born, you know, almost 81 years before him. And, you know, it's you know, so there was a lot of mixed emotions, and I do hope that he looks at me and goes, do you know what, I am proud of you, son, because it was something he said a lot. And yeah, it was quite funny. And now we're coming towards the end of the week, and in the next couple of days or so, for those of you who are interested, we are looking to do our gender reveal. Like, the second scan went well. We've got another appointment at the doctor's in the next few days or so, and we've given the envelope to my mother-in-law, and she's ordered all the bits and bobs. Thank you so much to everybody who recommended ways to do a gender reveal, and we've come up with these sort of like smoke cannons, these little cannons that you sort of pull, and either pink or blue smoke come flying out the top, and we've got a little game planned for it as well. So hope you're interested as much as we are on this particular good news. We're going to try to do that in the next couple of days or so, and sort of like throw it out there with you guys, and you guys can be sort of part of it. And finally, the castings are coming in thick and fast. It's brilliant. Wow, that just shows how cold it is in here. Like, my coffee is now cold. That is, ugh. I need to make another one soon. But yeah, they're coming in thick and fast, and yeah, had another one this week, which, you know, I don't know I've got. It was quite a last minute casting, and the news and the other ones I've not got as well, hence the reason why I'm not vlogging about it, I'm not telling you about it. So, but the good news is that they're coming in thick and fast, so that means my new headshots are doing very, very well, and I might do a video for the proper sort of videos of this channel and show you how I like to edit a headshot. So that's something to look forward to. But guys, I think I've taken up enough of your time. Thank you so much for listening. It has been a pleasure to share this week with you. It has been a pleasure to speak about my father with you. Actually, I don't get much opportunity anymore to speak about him, and you know, it always gives me a smile to reminisce about the great man that is Fred Benham, who has inspired me to be a better man, to be a better father. So thank you so much for sharing this with me. It has been a pleasure, and I look forward to sharing the next video with you and this rest of this year. So guys, thank you so much. If you would be so kind to like this video, because YouTube's algorithm has changed a little bit and it really likes the likes, so if you can get down there and like the video, that would be awesome. And if you haven't yet subscribed, now is probably a good time to do so. Please subscribe. But guys, for now, thank you very much. Thank you, it's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you on Friday. No, that's cold. I'm not going to drink that. Bye.